I am Lamont Wilcox, and this is my daughter, Mikkel Wilcox Kaiser, and we are so excited to be a part of this Energy Healing Conference again. It has been so fun for us in the past, and we are so excited to come and change more lives, because that's what we do. I hope you'll come to our presentation and be able to hear more and meet some of the people who were here last time and now have been through our program and seen that massive foundational life shifts in how they're experiencing life now.
The energy that people have when they come talk to us, they're ready to talk about their life and be really vulnerable in that state. It's like we get to connect on a deeper level because you're already there ready to change. You're looking for that thing that you need to really make that next step in your life. And one of our favorite things, because we are a father-daughter duo, is parenting and relationships. Everyone can relate to this topic. It's so fun to teach other people about this because they can see that we're in that relationship right now and we're working with each other constantly on it. So we always have examples to show people of what we're talking about.
And for our experience, I really got going into this because with both me and my relationships with my family, all of us struggling with different levels of mental health, we tried so many different things. We went, to the extremes of each of the different things that people were telling us. And we were very much more on the natural side of things and the holistic and trying to do things, changing our diet and changing, things in our lives that we thought would have an effect on our health.
And you're just so desperate and you're looking and looking. And sometimes those things that you get help for, they don't stay forever, and it doesn't seem like it helps on a deeper level to where it's like, oh, like I really feel good about this. A lot of times we find one thing here and one thing there, and then we feel good for a while, but then maybe it goes back to, not feeling great again, right? It's kind of like this cycle that these things don't really stick.
It really created a desire in me to go after and learn, and I was so lucky to be able to put together, as I researched and learned these things, this model. As we started to learn and research, I ran into a gentleman who taught us about this concept of neuroplasticity. And I started researching the neuroscience behind it. I started learning about the brain. And I realized a different perspective that these neuroscientists have on all these issues of mental health.
Being open-minded enough to really accept these new concepts and these new ideas was huge in this time frame.
Yeah, and the thing that brought that out was just desperation and pain and suffering and just being miserable. It helps us to shift and change and allow the change and discomfort in our life to consider something new. Because as I started to do this research, the neuroscientists will look out and say, what everybody is doing out there in the psychology world is they're diagnosing people with these struggles, OCD, depression, anxiety. You're not solving the problem because you're not diagnosing the problem. You're diagnosing the symptoms. That all of those things out there, all those labels, whether it's even as extreme as schizophrenia and personality disorders and eating disorders and all these different things that they're diagnosing. I talk to principals of schools and they're like, yeah, we've had 5 suicides in the last school year, or even worse, some of them. And the neuroscientists are saying, wait a minute, if you try to solve a symptom, you'll never solve the problem. You'll never get to the core and foundation of the issue. And this is what I started to discover as I started to learn about this and figure out, oh, that's why these things didn't last. So these researchers and scientists are really figuring out what the technology and what this new environment that we're raising our children is doing to their brains. And that's what I researched, and that's what I learned. And it's important to know those things, but what's more important is to know what to do about them.
Because how many times have you tried something and you felt like it's helped for a while, but then it kind of seems to wear off a little bit? Maybe this strategy or this new thing that you're trying to apply, it doesn't seem to last. Because focusing on those symptoms and focusing on those things that aren't really the deeper problem doesn't really fix it in the long run.
And we're just getting caught in this cycle going over and over and over because we're trying to use methods that our parents taught us that don't work in today's society. And they are used and applied differently, and now our kids are taking it to a different extreme.
We are really excited to really dive deeper into these concepts and ideas that most people are not understanding. That mainstream, psychology haven't hit on these as strongly because of how fast this new information is coming out.
We're going to talk about some of those things that have happened to our brains because of technology. We're going to go through some definitive things that you can change and do in your life, and encourage others and teach them to do, so that you aren't messing with that brain of yours that's so valuable, so capable, and so amazing, and all the things that are keeping you and those you love from tapping into that. One of the concepts that we help people understand that have not been exposed to energy and energy healing or any of those things is how the brain runs off of electricity. And our whole body runs off of electricity. And electricity runs on frequencies, and those frequencies have a huge effect on what parts of our brain will participate, how it acts, what chemicals will be taken. So we're gonna go into some of this, and it is gonna be a blast. So we are so excited to share it with you, to see some of these life-changing experiences. We hope you'll go and visit our website and see some of the testimonials of people who have been there and who have gone through our programs and seen some of the things that can be accomplished with our brain. I mean, how many of you believe that your brain is so much more powerful than what you're using it right now? And we have to really thank Tammy for inviting us out. She's actually in our program. She is incredible, and she has such a heart and a passion for helping other people. She's so open and accepting of everybody at every level, no matter what they're struggling with. She's invited us to come and speak because it was very life-changing for her and for her family. And she's really helping us to bring together the science of how our brains and our bodies function.
Something you can really do in your life right now with your families, with your children, with your relationship. It's working, and that there's hope here, right? One of the biggest things that we want to give to you in our presentation is that there's hope. You can change, and we're going to show you how.
Yeah.